I was diagnosed with minor depression, when I was a teenager. I wouldn't say that I had suicidal thoughts at the time. And then I had about 10 years where I was absolutely fine. And then in the last 4 years or so, I was having sorts of marital problems, and I had a lot of things going on. And I gradually developed very severe depression. I wouldn't say that I was aware that I had depression until it was at a very critical point. And that sounds a bit strange, but it's your reality, and you think that that is how it is, and the only way out of this is to end your life, and that's very, and it's wrong, because I want this documentary to show people that there are other alternatives, there are other options, and to open more doorways, because as I say, when you're depressed, you feel like every door is closed, you're on your own, and the only way out is through suicide, and there's nothing further from the truth. So I was inspired really from going to various different therapy groups, trying out my own strategies, researching online, reading books. Knowledge is power in this situation. And I just want to give some of my knowledge and my experiences to other people who might be going through the same thing, but also to talk about all the different therapies there are on the island, because there are loads of different therapies out there and loads of different groups and lots of things that you can do on your own to help yourself. And I want to bring them to light. That was the main sort of focus behind the documentary.
From discussions I've had with people on issues similar, it seems that talking is always key to somebody that's suffering in a depression or anxiety sort of situation. But whilst that is very helpful, lots of people in those situations are isolated and don't have necessarily the motivation to go out to talk to somebody or pick up the phone perhaps. So how important is it to see it? This is a visual thing. This is something that could be gone to people's home virtually or digitally. I mean, is that an important part of this?
I do think so. And I think it's putting faces to the names of people, and it's bringing the therapies to life. I think there's very much like this therapy does this, and you can read that online, but this would bring it all to the person, show them what we do, show them what different counselling and different therapies help you to achieve. And I think it is important to start talking, and that's the hardest part, and it's the first step of anybody who's feeling suicidal or severely depressed. And I realise it is the hardest thing. But if you can just send out a message, even if it's 3 words to one of your trusted friends saying, I need help, or, I'm really struggling, anything like that, that is a huge step. And it may not feel like much, but it's a huge step. And it makes other people aware that you're going through it, and they can keep an eye on you and they can check in on you. And that step is really important. So that was what I would say would be the first thing to do if you're very low or depressed. Or there's so many helplines, the Samaritans. Don't be too proud to call them. Pick up the phone, say that you are struggling, be honest, and really get into the depth of what you're experiencing. This is not a time to be kind of beating around the bush. Say how you feel. It's the best thing for you. It may not feel like the best thing at the time, but it really is.
Well, you're taking on this project now, which is obviously going to be, it's a pretty big step from going from that first step, as you say, now to going sort of public with it. Well, what form will it take and what will it look like?
I'm hoping that it'll be about 10 episodes of about 10 minutes long. And each sort of section will have a different type of therapy or an area. So we have areas that are the DBT and what the NHS can offer. We'll have how art therapy can help. We've got bits about sports and running. We've got lots of different sections, and each section will be having an interview with somebody who's sort of the professional, if you like, or the therapist. And then there's a little bit talking to me about how that therapy's helped me, because each of the therapies that we discuss I've tried, and I can give honest feedback.
And presumably not all of them will work.
No, well, I think for me, I took elements from each therapy and from each counselling session, and at the end of the day, it's a lot of work that you have to do. But I'm telling you, from a year, it's literally a year since I had a very severe episode, and I'm sitting here now, and I've not had a depressive episode since January. And that doesn't sound like much, but I was having depressive episodes for lasting 9 or 10 days, and then 2 days off, and then back into the cycle again. So that's a huge achievement for me, and I want to be able to share my knowledge in that way of how I've got to where I am. And I do think this documentary will bring that all to light.
And where will it be going as well? Is this social media? Is it YouTube? Is that sort of thing?
Yeah, it'll be on Facebook and YouTube, made available to anybody, but mainly to Isle of Man residents, because it is a sort of Isle of Man based project, if you like. It's being filmed by Dark Avenue Film, and they have waived quite a part of their fees for this because they believe in the project, they have faith in it. I've got James Davis doing the interviewing. I want to kind of emphasize the fact that the people doing the interviews and me and James, we're not taking any money for it. So the sponsorship that we're like asking for, or donations, is just for literally putting it all together and getting it out there to the people who really need this right now.